Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the Barren Hills still, from Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee Barren Hills, the home of Dr. Ken Berry. Yes, whom we're very proud of. Lives west of me. I think, I'm not sure how far, but yes, home of Ken Berry. And yeah, it's winter still, and you know, we're looking at you know, just 4th of February, and for some reason the leaves aren't out, you know, and green and all that, but they'll be coming in a few months, right? It will be budding out in when is it? March, early March sometimes, even if we get a warm spell, the trees get full and they'll start budding. And but then, you know, mid-March, before you know it. So now we're at a point where once you get into February, we get some really bad weather sometimes in February. The worst ice storm most people have ever seen happened in February here in '94. I sound like an old guy. Yeah, I remember the ice storm in '94, February '94. I still have trees bent over from that. They're really trees growing horizontally, weird stuff. So yeah, we're in the winter. We're back on the Gone Club range. Yep. So it's good to see Clyde again. He survived the snowstorm and everything. I got him all painted up again, and he's over there ready to creep around in the woods and get shot. Yeah, I've already put a couple on him. Yeah, I hadn't shot him in a while. Well, you saw what I brought out. Those were the first shots I've taken of the old Beretta 92. And I don't know when. It's been a year or two. I don't know what was the last video we did with this thing. It's been a while. It really has. I feel very, very ashamed of myself for not giving the old Beretta 92 FS some love more than I have in recent years. But yeah, that's the way it goes. I'll tell you one thing that motivated me for this. Yeah, I've been doing some cleaning up this week. The last couple, well, really this winter. Whenever John's out of town, I try to not prepping up for a video or something. You know, I kind of try to lead a normal life, like you might. I don't know. And yeah, I got so many things. You know, I've been around so long. Have lived right here since '85, '86. And you just get things cluttered, you know, so badly, especially all the stuff I'm into and the variations of the things I'm into. And I've been working on that, getting straightened up. It's going to be a long project, but I've made some nice headway, some closets and things, different things. And I ran across, I might have mentioned it, a bag of Beretta 92 magazines. I knew they were in my closet, okay, just my clothes closet. I don't keep a lot of kind of stuff in there, but I had a couple of bags of magazines and different things. I set them in there, and I remembered the bag they were in, and I think this came up a year ago or longer. I'm telling you, I couldn't find my bag of Beretta magazines. I had to buy one or something. And I knew the bag they were in. It was a kind of a different sort of a bag, cloth bag, and I even knew where I thought it was, and it just wasn't there. And I looked around, everything under my clothes and all that. And I never did find it, you know. Anyway, I went through a serious cleaning and reorganization of my walk-in closet, my clothes closet. And I'll be darned, man, if it wasn't up on a high shelf in this container that I had clothes in, thrown on in it, old I don't know, jeans or whatever, extra pair of jeans, some things like that. And I looked under those, and what's this, a bag of? Well, kind of a different bag, but there are those Beretta magazines. I tell you, too many firearms, too many different episodes of shooting and reloading and all that. Too many firearms for sure. I have two firearms that take these mags, right? The CXS Storm. And then this, I guess that's it, right? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's one reason I have this mag for the CXS Storm. And I was going to maybe shoot it in this thing, test it, right? But anyway, yeah, so I was reminded, oh, there's those magazines. I haven't fired this Beretta in a while, and I need to do that. Yeah, so I'm going to do it. I don't have a holster for it, but I want to thank Alabama Holster for their support of the channel. Wonderful little Kydex holsters. In fact, I'll put my cell phone back in my Kydex Alabama holster, and I got one in my pocket. So appreciate their support. Great holsters, great holsters. Check them out. Many of you have, and you have reported back to me. I'm going to just shoot the thing again. Put my ears in, okay? We're pretty fortunate. We've got a decent day here. Like I said, I haven't fired this thing, and I always forgot to get the safety off, right? It's got a nice single action once you get the safety off. Right, Clyde? Yeah, Clyde. I think so. Has some negatives, but it's not bad. Popped the gong on the last shot. Has some negatives. You know, these are, I like this, and it was the official military, you know, handgun basically from what, 86 to just recent year. Well, when did wow, time gets away. When did the SIG P320 get adopted by the military? Was that well, 2000? I don't know, 16, 17, you know, just time gets away. But yeah, for that time span, basically this was it, the firearm. And the one thing about this firearm, you've seen me in videos criticizing certain issues with it. One of them is that safety. It's just counterintuitive, just the opposite of most thumb safeties and all that. In the way, when you're racking the slide, you know, then you got the double single action trigger pull, which I'm not a great fan of. The other thing is it breaks pretty far back. You know, if it didn't, for my big hand, that's partly just my large hands. But so I got my negatives with it. Positives are I just love the gun. It's just so reliable. Great single action trigger pull, all that kind of thing. The capacity, the grip feels good. So, and people will say, I know in videos sometimes, well, it just requires some training. You just need to train with it, you need to work with it, and that safety, you'll get used to it and all that kind of thing. Well, that's true. Same with a red dot optic sight. You know, if I train with one, I'd probably, you know, shoot just fine with it and might like it. But you're veering away, swerving away from what all my handguns, how they operate, the manual of arms, you know. So I'm not going to willy-nilly switch one gun or have one gun that I carry sometimes that has this manual of operation with that safety, weird kind of safety thing. Yeah, I could train, I could get used to it. Why do I want to do that when 95% of my handguns that I might use for defense or carry or whatever are very different? They either have no safety or it's a standard like 1911 thumb safety sort of thing. So why do I want to train well enough to feel extremely comfortable with this? In fact, that would be counterproductive. If I got to a point where this was completely natural, and I carried this gun, and it was just intuitive, just automatic, you know, that safety and everything, the operation of that. Well, guess what is not going to be intuitive after that and totally natural and fluid and smooth? All my other guns. Yeah, so anyway, I know you can train with anything, get used to it. So those are some things I don't necessarily like about it, but it's just a nice pistol. Gosh. A masterpiece in a lot of ways, really. And a lot of you that have been in the military and carried these, and you just love them to death. So, and I know there's other models where they've changed the safety, that kind of thing, but this is a little bit older now, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, like I said, don't forget to budge merch and of any video, and Talon grips and ballast stall. Everybody helps us out. Appreciate that. And I want to get a drink of of wine. Actually, it's sparkling water. Don't forget the Hickok 45 Clips channel. John's hard at work over there, pulling out clips of weird stuff, good stuff, all kinds of stuff. No giveaways going on. What else do I need? Qualified. I'm gonna try to do another sit down, too much talking video on the Patreon channel this week since the weather's nice. So watch for that. What else? What else? Anything important? I think I'm going to just shoot this thing. How about that? Oh, this is another magazine. It was in that bag. 20 round mag. I believe it's a Beretta mag, yeah. Okay. Well, it's a nice evening, isn't it? Very nice. Yeah. Makes me want to just shoot something like a bowling pin. There's that safety again. Get that, hang on. Sweet. Oh, there's a water jug. Let's empty it. Want to? Sorry, Clyde, but I just had to do it. Yeah, these are fine guns, no doubt about it. And in a fine military choice, people in the military seem to really like this pistol at a surprising rate over the years. I've been surprised. I don't hear them bringing up the negatives I see in it as much. Of course, they may not have had a lot of experience with handguns. The soldiers that were issued this thing, I don't know, didn't get indoctrinated by a pull and shoot Glock or something, or a 1911 with a totally different thumb safety. But the thing is, too, you got to keep in mind, and I keep that in mind, and I mean, I'm aware of it. And even though I have some negatives I don't like, that safety might get me killed. Even out here, I'll say, oh, well, safety has got the safety on me. I got to push up on it instead of push down with my thumb and all that kind of thing. Well, if I'm carrying this as a concealed carry citizen, concealed carrying citizen, whatever I'm carrying, basically, I need to produce it pretty quickly. I'm not expecting to ever have trouble. Maybe I'm coming out of the grocery in a parking lot. Someone tries to rob me or assault me or whatever it might be. Might be out here doing a video. Someone sneak up on me. Clyde doesn't warn me. I don't know. I gotta get it out and take action of some sort. Well, that's different, isn't it? And if you're in the military, don't let me say something too stupid. But in the military, you're generally that's not as much the situation, is it? You're in combat, you're with your troops, and you're trying to whatever, take that hill over there or this building or whatever it is. Maybe your rifle gets hit with a bullet and it quits working. I mean, my pistol. I get my pistol out. No one else. There's not another rifle handy or anything. Let me get my pistol and continue the fight. Maybe I'm behind something, whatever it is. I got time to mess with it a little bit, maybe. It's just a little different, generally speaking. Not always, right? But it's just another gun you can go to in most cases. Or if it's the only thing you've got and you're about to enter a situation, okay, let me get out my pistol, get it in the battery, and make sure I'm ready with it or whatever. As a concealed carry citizen, we work at having something ready anywhere we are. You're at the grocery, you're at the dentist, you're wherever you are, okay, that something crazy could happen. Not likely. You could be sitting at Wendy's, mind your own business, safest town in the world, and some crazed person comes in there, and it turns out his ex or estranged wife or girlfriend works there, and he just is mad, and he's on something, and he's going to take it out on everybody in there all of a sudden. You know, those are the kind of, I mean, it's almost like getting hit by lightning. You know, obviously the odds are very, very slim of that kind of thing. But it's just being ready, having something at your disposal at any time, like the fire extinguisher in your car, your house, knowing right where to go and grab it and how it works. You know. So different, a little bit different philosophy there in need, don't you think? Speaking of digging out stuff, yeah, it's interesting when you're doing that. Have you ever done that, cleaned out? Many of you have. Changed jobs. You'd clean out your parents' house or whatever it might be, a relative, and man, you just go through so many things that bring back the old days, pictures or the literal, paper, pictures on paper, or prints, and just anything. It's just interesting how so much time has passed since I came onto this planet. I've had several segments of time, different jobs where I've done that, and it's just amazing how fast time flies. And even, gosh, my first incarnation as a teacher, I taught in one building for 4 or 5 years, and the other one the rest of that time, and just cleaning out from all those years and old papers and tests and things you've done. It's just a myriad of things that, wow. And then I remember cleaning out the second classroom I had down in the basement, big closet, and all the things that I'd done. I was teaching junior English, the last years I was there. And then when I got into publishing, and then I changed jobs about 3 times there, and then all the different things that you change and you clean out, and just when you move and all that, I've gone through that so many times. And my parents died, both of them, once my mother died, and they were both gone. I was kind of tasked with going through the house that we lived in since I was like 12 or something, and there's all those drawers and different cabinets, different things that you just come across that you remember, and it's just and same thing this week, going through closets and different things. Just wow. Been doing these videos so long. I ran across a box of flash drives that I hadn't seen, and I don't know, it was a little tin cookie thing or something, in, I don't know, 8-10 years or more, and these flash drives were in there, 6 or 7 of them. I was, oh man, we could use that. Well, not really. They're the older flash drives, and they're scan disc, but they're like 4 megs and 8 megs, that kind of, or 8 gigs, I guess, and 4 gigs and that kind of thing. And there'd be some old videos on there just randomly that I just transfer them or something. And I thought, wow, some of the names of those videos and everything. And we've got those backed up elsewhere. But and there was one drive in there. I was glad to find it. It was a scan disc, I think. It was a kind of an aluminum, good-looking drive, a little bit longer than the others and kind of cool-looking. It was a 1 gig drive, flash drive, thumb drive, 1 gig. And I remember buying that. I'm not sure what year it was. It would have been like 15, 20 years ago. And it was the first one I had seen at Best Buy. I think I got it at Best Buy. The first one I had seen that held that much. It was like buying a solid state drive today. If you wanted a solid state external drive, backup drive, let's say, you're looking around, there's really little, just plug right into USB and don't need extra power or anything. And you found one that was like 10 terabytes. Oh, cool, 10 terabytes. I don't even need an adapter and all that kind of plug in. Well, that's kind of what this was. At 1 gig, it was $100. That's what it cost. And, for that 1 gig of memory. And I'm glad I found that. And all those are almost useless now because you put a video, some of them wouldn't even hold one of our videos. So it's interesting how time changes, isn't it? And how things change, innovation and all that. Kind of like Glock, always innovating, right? The innovators, they need to come out. Their number 50, Glock 50 needs to be called the Innovator, And it'd be a revolver, a black, ugly revolver made of polymer or something. So anyway, Yeah, interesting going through stuff like that. Many of you have had that experience, and sometimes it's sad, like going through a parent's house and well, there's a little box of marbles or different things. They were always right there in that storage space for 20, 30 years, or these tools or this and that. Just it was always there, and now I got to decide what to do with it, or give it to my brothers, or throw it away, or what do we do? Put it in the auction. We had an auction when my mother died. She wanted that. She was very specific, wanted us to go through and just agree to take what we wanted, as long as we all three agreed, or brothers, and then just auction everything, and even leave a lot of it for that. Even things we thought we might want, just the more sentimental things like a vase or things like that. Go ahead. But she wanted just auction it off, and whoever wants it, they can buy it in the auction. And there won't be hard feelings. She was really adamant about that. She I guess seen that happen in her life somewhere, her family, and she didn't want any hard feelings. So y'all just put it all in the auction, being arguing, just that'll eliminate any of that, and anybody who wants it can bid on it, kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, let me shoot something again. Oh, I got something funny to tell you about that auction too. All right. I think Mr. Clyde has had it too easy for the last few weeks. Yeah, I'm going to wear him out. You too, cowboy. Good old Beretta 92, 9mm, by the way. You know that, right? Yeah, my mother, I've told you about the lamp. I've got a Colo lamp that she grew up with. She actually did her homework over that. My grandfather on that side was too cheap to put in electricity back in 1925 or whatever. He had 500 acres and all, 50 cows, all that. He was old school man, and he wouldn't put in electricity when it came through. So my mother did her homework on a Colo lamp up until she was 15 or something. That's what they had. Anyway, that's so she always had that in the house. We talk about it, and I told her one day that I'd really like, all along, I'd really like to have that someday. That was one of the things I kind of pegged, and my brothers didn't seem interested in that ever through the years, and I just always wanted that, the sentimental value of that, and I liked those anyway, and I have it because I don't know, she wasn't sick yet, but it was later years. And I mentioned it again to her. I'd like to have that sometime, and she said, well, go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. No, I don't want to take it now. There's, no, you go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. I don't need it. So I bought her a Colo lamp at Walmart. I said, look, in case power goes out or something, I'll replace this. It was just a pressed glass, it was $8 or whatever it was. Filled it up for her at the wick, and I made sure I showed her it worked. Okay, on her kind of a dresser where she had it at that point. Put it right back there, and I did. I took that. I went in and took it, and I was really happy. It's in my dining room table. I love it. I light it on special occasions and everything, and it's a real neat piece to have. It's there my whole life, And anyway, on the mantle or in the dining room table my whole life. There was never a time it wasn't around there. Anyway, so she had this pressed $8 lamp or whatever. Well, at the auction, and it was there, I don't know, 5-6 years before Mom died, there in her bedroom. And my niece, I hope she didn't watch this. I always make fun of her anyway. She's the oldest niece, my brother's wife. And so at the auction, I didn't know it. I didn't see her do it, but that lamp was in the auction, and as well as most of the furniture and all that. Anyway, my niece bought that at the auction and was just tickled to death. It's so funny. She came up showing me this lamp. And I got Grandma's lamp or Mama's lamp, and she was just so pleased to have this special lamp that Mom, because she thought it was like antique and I don't know, 100 years old or something. And I just almost didn't have the heart to tell her, but I did. I said, darling, that's about 5 years old. You can get all those you want at Walmart. It was funny. And if I hadn't have picked on her whole life, it was just a guy that I wouldn't have told her, probably. Good sport. I'd probably just let her think that she had this valuable lamp. Of course, she'd have seen them at Walmart or somewhere. All right. what else can I tell you that you're totally not interested in? Let's just shoot that SDI badge. Oh man, how about that Alabama holster map there? Oh, I thought we had a malfunction. My first malfunction with this pistol. It's just that it was empty. All right. Yeah, they tend to malfunction when they are empty. They quit working. Now it has ammo. Yeah. Pow. How about you, buds? Woo. Silencer Central. Bam, I'm shooting up my target stand when I do that. Talon Grip. Wagner. Gun Fun Targets. Ballast off. There we go. And Clyde. You need another bullet. Yeah. Pretty nice old pistol, I'll have to say. Yeah, I was going to be amazed if it had malfunctioned. So let me give you youngsters some advice and get you out of here before I'm a bad influence on you and I have you out buying guns or something. Yeah, I wouldn't want anybody to be influenced that way. Yeah. I got some advice for you young people. Please refrain. Please resist the temptation to create drama, okay? Just because you're bored or you want clicks, you want attention, if you're in middle school, you're in high school, or you're 35, whatever it is, it's always tempting to, I don't know, to be a drama queen or drama king, to get attention. And to create, the thing we do is we create a situation, a fantasy through our imagination, something that's not really there or not real sometimes, just for attention, right? I'm always reminded of what the great philosopher Greg Gutfeld has said several times, that there's a shortage of racism, that one of the problems in today's society and world, media and everything, the world of the woke, there's this big problem. There's a shortage of racism. As I've said many times over the years, you've heard me, that you just don't see people being racist. I don't. I remember when I was younger, you maybe jokes, or you some old guy, or you have an uncle that would tell a racist joke. They were maybe genuinely kind of racist, they just out of ignorance or whatever, that's kind of a thing of the past. And for the most part, I know there's little pockets here and there. So there's a shortage of it, just like there's a shortage of what else? Discrimination or things. We kind of, through law and enlightenment, we have fixed most of that. At least until the politicians started coming along that want to do nothing but divide people in order to get votes and be a hero. But anyway, there is a shortage of racism, and so what do people who want attention have to do? They've got to create some. They've got to find it. They've got to manufacture it somehow. So that's the kind of thing you want to please avoid. Please have a life. This kind of stuff comes from people who just really, when we joke about someone needs a life, man, it fits in that situation. It really fits. People, they literally need a life. They need a hobby. They need something to do. They might need a job. If they can't get a job, if you can't get a job and you fall into this category, probably not many people like that listening, hopefully watching, but find something to do. Wow. If you ever find yourself thinking, moving in that direction, I need attention, or you start looking for things that don't really exist, manufacturing it to make yourself feel virtuous. You found it and you're pointing it out you're pointing out that somebody is a racist. Oh, I think that could be interpreted as racism, or that guy's a bigot, or whatever it might be, and I can quickly do a video on that or make a comment and get attention that way. It's a weird mix, right? So that's what social media is about. That's why it's turned everybody into a monster, or it's brought out the monsters, in us. And you even see it in that kind of stuff in the firearms world community online, don't you? You kind of do. People looking to get attention. Well, we all want people to watch our videos, but I mean, people creating things that don't exist, manufacturing something way, being more dramatic about something that is really making a mountain out of a molehill, right? This is really a nothing. It's a nothing burger, but I can get clicks, I can get attention, and I can kind of virtue signal. We got to be careful of that in the firearms world as well. It's the old thing I've talked about before. There are some people who think that their goal in life is to out Second Amendment anybody else that's into the firearms world. So someone says something, or they even act like they're not a crazy activist every minute or something on every issue and follow right down the line 100%, then they're anti-Second Amendment, and there's somebody I can go after, whether it's a president of a gun company or whoever it is, or someone says something in a video, or whatever it might be. So we got to be careful too, because we can very, very easily fall into the same thing. Virtue signaling is a cottage industry, and it's not exclusive to one party, is it, necessarily? Yeah. It's what would we say, a human failing. It's a piece of human nature that hopefully, as we become more enlightened in this life, we check ourselves on, and we don't fall victim to that, to always looking for another opportunity to virtue signal and feel better about ourselves, like middle schoolers or something. Banish that person. Here's my little clique here. We're the special people, because we say the right things, or whatever it might be. But anyway, that's my advice, and I was too long-winded about all that. But a lot of it just gets into human nature, and we've got to get beyond that. Don't please create a bunch of weird drama, finding fault with people or things that's not really there. Occupy yourself with yourself primarily, with your career, your job, things you need to be doing, and worry a whole lot less about what that guy or that gal is doing, right? And you'll be better for it. You'll be better for it. Okay, enough preaching. I need to shoot again. I don't know how many rounds I have left in that mag. Want to guess? It's a big mag, but guess what? I shot most of the rounds there. So I got to put another one on Clyde and another one on the gong before I am going to let you leave. Before I'm going to let me leave. Let's try the gong first. It might take all of them. All right, I heard it. Now, Mr. Clyde, you seem impervious to bullets. Yeah, last two on Clyde. That's a pretty nice rig, isn't it? What is that? 20-30. Yeah, it's like having a Glock 17 with a 33 round mag, huh? Yeah. So people accuse me of being biased, criticizing the wonderful Beretta 92 for favoring a Glock or something with a striker fired trigger, and talk about how much better a firearm this is. Beretta, they know what they're doing for hundreds of years and all that, and they do. And it's great. The lockup, man, it's a wonderful pistol. But again, it's got those negatives I've talked about. For me, maybe not for you, but for me. But I'll always keep it. I like it. I'm a bit of a, I don't know, hey, you could say I'm a gun collector, a military buff in some ways. And as you know from my shooting collection, I have a lot of firearms, handguns that go back through the years that the military has adopted. Same with rifles, all the way back to the smoothbore muskets and everything. And they're fascinating to me, just for what they are. I'm not going to not own a smoothbore Muska, the 1842, 69 caliber military firearm, simply because it has no rifling, or it has some negatives. Duh. This is kind of a piece of history. It's like the 1911. You might hate a thumb safety, period. You would never have a 1911 for that reason. You hate the 45 ACP cartridge or something, you would never have a 1911. Well, if you really enjoy the history of firearms, bite the bullet and have one, because it's 1911 is like the ultimate piece of history when it comes to military firearms, isn't it? So it's kind of where it fits, if nothing else. It doesn't have to be a perfect for my carry gun, right? It would do in a pinch, wouldn't it? So I guess I ought to let you go. Anything I'm forgetting to tell you? Again, don't forget the Hickok 45 Clips channel, and the Buds merch, and I don't know. And again, we sure hated about Paul Harrell. I've seen a lot of comments about him, and we have a lot of common viewers. That didn't sound good, did it? Some of y'all are common. No, we do. We have overlapping viewers, and I've known that for a long time, because I see people make comments about him and everything, and we have people who just like to watch quirky, weird people do gun videos, right? And I guess Paul and I are both a little quirky. At least he got a brain to go along with his quirkiness. But so yeah, it's sad. There's something else I was going to say about it, and I don't know what it was. Life is good, but life is short. It's just hard to know. It's people just get sick. And many of you have been around long enough. You've lost family members and friends, and certainly I have. And it's a good friend that lost in the last year or two, lost sibling, a dog they had for like 19 years or something, a cat just a week or so ago, they had for like, I don't know, 15, about the same, 15, 20 years, I think. Just they were so close to, and other family members, and it's just, you just almost get whiplash sometimes, from, people just disappearing, or your pets just disappearing. And if you don't have pets, I know that it sounds insensitive to put that in the same sentence, with losing family members or human beings and that kind of thing. And maybe it is to some extent, but if you've had pets before for more than a year, you know what I'm talking about. They become a family member, and they become so close. It's like slam fire, and Booba, I have another cat you'd hardly ever see, because she's a scaredy cat, but I've had her longer than slam fire, actually a year longer. And they're both just great pets and friends. They've both been in my lap 10 times, in the last week probably, hanging out. They're just great. You just get attached to them. And y'all have had pets, dogs, cats, you know what I'm talking about, horses, praying mantis, June bug, whatever pet you've had, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's we're not. Paul's is still with us, and maybe he will recover. I know that's tough with pancreatic cancer. It's a tough diagnosis, but anyway, we'll be thinking about him, and we will carry on. Right? It's our job to carry on. And for you to carry on and not forget. And he's in videos, and I think there's a drive to increase his subscriber base. That's the thing I was going to mention. I had a couple of people write me and say, we're trying to get Paul 1 million subscribers or something like that, and want me to promote it and that kind of thing, which yeah, please, subscribe to Paul. But I answered somebody on Facebook about that. I said, I don't mind mentioning that. Of course, I like Paul. The thing is, we've never spent a lot of time begging for subscribers, and probably should. probably should, the way the algorithm is and YouTube is, and it's such a crowded field and world. If you're not subscribing and making sure you're subscribed, clicking the bell and all that kind of thing, and liking and commenting, you do. I mean, it's just a daily thing. People just, you're still doing videos. You know, glad to see you're still doing videos. I've not seen any of yours in forever. Where have you been? That kind of thing. I mean, that's the real world. So we should be doing that and begging for subscribers. I don't know, begging is not the right word, but you're reminding people to subscribe because, you know, and do all those things, because the algorithm just hides you away if you're very, very easily, especially gun videos, I guess. But what I was getting to is I don't know, the libertarian in me, you know, we first started doing the videos, you know, same thing, you know, just if people like it, they'll subscribe and come watch them. If not, they won't. Right? And it doesn't do much good for somebody to subscribe if they're not going to kind of keep up and watch videos. You know, like everybody that does this has way more subscribers than they do, you know, like viewers. That's just the way it goes. You got different ratios. And we do such a variety of things, and a lot of them get out there, and people, it's cool, I'm gonna subscribe, but then they don't get back, whatever it is. So, but yeah, what we all want are viewers. You know, that's more important than subscribers, because that doesn't mean you're going to come back and watch a video, right? So anyway, it's been some of my thinking, and my thinking is not always really valid. Doesn't make sense a lot of times, I'm sure, but that's just the way I am, you know, just the way I am. 'Cause that's the way I am, you know. If I like somebody's videos, I'm going to subscribe and try to keep up with them. It's just, well, so I assume that's what other human beings might do. I guess most of you subscribers are human beings, are you? Maybe we should do a blood test on all of you. Yep, my little animal. So I'm going to wrap up here, and I'm going to let you go. Spent too many minutes talking to you. Hope you have a good February, and yeah, hang in there. Better weather is coming. Of course, if you live in Southern California or in Miami, you wonder what I'm talking about. Better weather's coming. Yeah, I know. Tomorrow is always good weather. So I'll talk to you later, and I appreciate everybody that helps us out and you all tuning in. So yeah, there was something else, but I forgot what it was. Probably made no sense, so there's no need me talking about it. Life is good.